Welcome back to another election edition of Meet Victoria with Caleb Shaw, powered by ThriveFuel Digital Marketing. Guys, don't forget, early voting is February 14th through the 25th, and Election Day is March 1st. We've got another candidate with us, an incumbent candidate that I'm glad to have because I plan on learning a little bit of something today. So, without further ado, my friend, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself and let us know what race you're running for.
I'm Judge Miller. I'm John Miller. I am the current incumbent for the Justice of Peace Precinct 4, and would like to continue doing it.
Yes, sir. Now, I've got to plead ignorance to a degree on the Justice of the Peace job. I don't know a ton about it, but before I get to that, I kind of want to loop back and I want to know a little bit about yourself. What made you ever decide to run for this in the first place, and why are you crazy enough to keep running for office and stay in there? Didn't you not learn your lesson, or just passionate about what you do? Talk to me.
Well, this is my second term. I'm looking to get a third term.
Yes, sir.
I would, prior to being a JP, I was a constable for 8 years, which I knew about the Justice Court because I was a bailiff and I was a constable for Precinct 4.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So I enjoyed it, and after I stepped down from being a constable, wanted to go ahead and continue serving Victoria in Precinct 4, and not just Precinct 4, it's really all of Victoria. So I decided to run for JP, and I won, and here I am. I ran the second time, and I won again. When I was a constable, I ran, the first time I ran for constable, I did it because that'll be fun. I ended up winning the primary race by like 89% of the vote. And I went, oh no.
Yeah, be careful what you do, huh?
I got to take this serious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, for those like myself that, I see the Justice of the Peace all the time. I'll see a little, Justice of the Peace does this or says that or whatever in the newspapers, but I've never truly educated myself on the job or kind of what that entails. And so if you wouldn't mind, please explain a little bit about some of the duties and, maybe your day-to-day life a little bit of the Justice of the Peace and kind of what that entails.
Okay. Well, Justice of the Peace, everybody knows that I always say, if you're getting sued, you're getting evicted, or your kids don't go to school, you're going to come see me.
Yes, sir.
That's not all that it entails. We also hear cases. If you get your driver's license taken away from you, DPS comes in and brings us that. We sit there and have to determine whether you can keep your driver's license. There's one instance that you cannot keep your driver's license. It's if a medical issue, like if you have seizures, and I've had a couple of them, that by law I can't give you your driver's license back.
Wow.
I had a man probably a couple of years ago, and he goes, I do have seizures, and that's the reason he had his driver's license removed. And I told him, I can't let you have your driver's license unless you have a doctor's excuse. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, I haven't had a seizure in over a year. He goes, but if I give you your driver's license, you go out there and have a wreck,
that's on you.
That comes back to me.
Yes, sir.
So that's one reason you can't. And if you lose your driver's license for another reason, say for instance, you too many tickets. It used to be surcharges. Surcharges went away a couple of years ago. You can come to me where you can get a occupational license, which allows you to go to and from work, and essential duties like taking your kids to school, those are also additional cases that most people don't know what JPs do.
Yes, sir.
And we do inquest. If somebody passes away, they give us a call, and it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've got telephone calls, and I can sit there and write it down at home. But 90% of mine I go out on any homicide, car accident, suicide. A JP is the only one that can do the death certificate. So we take care of all the death certificates also.
Got it. Well, so you're involved in a lot more stuff than I actually knew about. I didn't know the licensing flowed through you as well, and so I learned something. What would you consider kind of it? And you kind of answered this to a degree, but Do you have anything that you consider like your top priorities? Like these are things that, yes, I have all these daily tasks and things that I have to accomplish, but this is my set of priorities, or is it more just a reactionary, like you just deal with the day as it comes and handle things as they go?
Well, my clerks sit there and take care of all the paperwork. If it wasn't for them, that office wouldn't even exist, because I couldn't do half the stuff they do. So my day-to-day task is sitting and listening to cases.
Yes, sir.
Small claims courts, which is a dispute, say, between two neighbors, two friends, and one friend loaned another guy a couple of $1,000s. He hadn't paid it back, and he refuses to pay it back, or he can't pay it back. So they come to my court, and I'll sit there and hear it, and he either admits, yes, I do owe the money. Well, you're going to get a judgment against you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my day-to-day task, is whenever my docket's full is what I do.
So when I see sometimes where we see this a lot in real estate, where a family hires a contractor to come in and fix their roof or you name it, and the guy asks for half the money up front or 2/3 of the money up front, and they give it to him, and then they never see that guy again.
And they never show back up.
Usually, if they file and they do that, that ends up back with you, depending on their precinct.
That's correct.
Roger that.
And I believe it or not, I see that all the time, and I tell them, I go, don't ever give any money up front.
Yeah.
If it's material that you need, go buy the material.
Yes, sir.
And I've seen people sit there and want their house painted, and the guy wants $3,000, but he wants $1,500 up front. So the guy gives him $1,500 up front, and he never shows back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sadly in real estate I see that all the time, and it's terrible, because most of the people don't have that money extra to lose, and so that was their money to do the repairs they needed to do for the house. And so when that guy, and sadly a lot of these people are predatory in their behavior with it. They hit 2 or 3 people and they're gone. We saw it really bad after Harvey with roofers and all sorts of contractors, actually, across the board. It was pretty bad. I didn't know that was your court, so I'm glad to know. We may be calling you one day.
Well, our jurisdiction is up to $20,000 now, so it used to be $10,000. But I see that. Our contractor may come in there and do poor work, and the homeowner's not satisfied with it. The bad thing, which I don't tell them in open court, I also have a construction background, so I know if it's poor work.
They're trying to blow smoke there, and you got to catch it up.
And they'll come in with photographs of, shoddy workmanship, and I can look at it and say, hey.
I know better than that. Yeah, that's too funny. That's good. Are there any current issues right now that hey, these things need to be resolved? Or again, my questions to you are kind of vague, because I don't know a ton about your job, so I'm kind of trying to flesh out. Is there anything current issues that you want the second term to fix, or you just want a continuation and keep working your job?
I want to just continue doing my job.
Yes, sir.
I enjoy doing it, and just keep on going.
Yes, sir. What would you say, why should voters stay with you as the incumbent versus a challenger?
One thing is experience.
Yes, sir.
This is my second term. I got 7 years or 2 months into my second term. I got the education. I have over 200 continued education hours. We're required to have 80 hours done within the first year of our getting elected.
Yes, sir. And
then we got to do 20 hours every year thereafter. And with this COVID, this last year, it was kind of tough, because I like one-on-one.
Yes, sir. I'm not
all
much
of ours,
for the virtual learning.
All of ours was on a computer.
Yes, sir.
And it was videos that we watched. So, but I did continue, because you have to have your 20 hours in.
Yes, sir.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I went to one class in person, but it was only 10 hours, so I had 10 hours to make up.
Yes, sir.
So I'd sit up at night watching videos.
Yeah. No, we in real estate, we have the same thing, continuing education, that we have to do. And all my initial classes I took in person, and I felt like those really helped and prepared me. But then the continuing education a lot of times is on the computer now, and it takes everything I have to focus on that screen when, oh, squirrel, there goes something out the window, and so I can certainly relate to you there.
So that's the reason I think I'm more capable, like I said, my education plus I got the experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not a job that you can just walk into. When I first got elected, which was on a Thursday, January 1st, I got sworn in, and I told my clerks, they were there to congratulate me. I told them, I go, well, thank y'all for coming. I'll see you Monday. He goes, no, Judge, we'll see you tomorrow. You got 30 cases on your docket tomorrow. I went, you got to be kidding me.
Boy, jumping right into the deep end.
And heck, I didn't even know what I was doing. I made it through it.
Yes, sir.
And I'm still here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, and we appreciate you for that. For those that want to follow your campaign, or if they want to reach out to you, just have any questions, or if they just want to get to know you a little bit, how can they do so?
They can give me a call anytime they want to.
Okay.
They can call the office. They can ask a question, and my clerks will give them my cell number if they can.
Yes, sir.
Just remember a JP. You can't call my office and ask for me because I can't talk to you. A lot of people don't know that. My calls are actually screened, because if I talk to you, if you're calling and you want to talk to me about a case, and as soon as you open your mouth and start asking me, telling me about your case, I no longer can hear that.
I understand. You may have to rule on it.
Yeah, I got to rule on it.
Ah, okay.
I do not see what the cases are until I get on the bench.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to know for a guy like me, because I talk a lot, so I would have just called and been like, "Hey," and said it all right there. And you would have been like,
I've had people do that.
I'm that guy. You gotta.
And I do got a Facebook page, John Miller, and I kind of got a campaign page. I don't know if it works or not.
Hey, that's how I contacted you. You answered me on there, and you made it work, so you did a good job on it.
I didn't do that either. Actually, my daughter did that from Germany.
I will tell you this right here. You were not the first person that their daughter or other people are running their Facebook pages and these things. We've done about 20 of these interviews, and I would say just about everybody's in the same boat. So I certainly understand, and I appreciate you. Is there anything that I'm forgetting or anything you want to get out before we wrap this thing?
No, I just want your vote. Like I said, Valentine's Day is early voting. Take your wife, girlfriend out to eat and take her to vote, or take her to vote and then take her out to eat.
Sounds like
come back on March 1st if you don't get out for the early voting and
make it happen.
Make it happen.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much. I say to all the candidates and the incumbents that I appreciate your service. I appreciate you serving. You guys, it's a lot of work. It's an intrusion into your first personal time, into your family time. And so thank you for making the effort and being out there and being available and coming and doing all these weird interviews with guys like me and stuff like that. I'm grateful to you. And I'm grateful again for what you do for the county and for the service, for us here in Victoria.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. It was my pleasure. Guys, one more time. Early voting is February 14th through the 25th, and Election Day is March 1st. Make sure you get out and vote. Make sure you support the candidates. And if nothing else, get out there, shake their hand, and get to know them. And we will see you at the next one.